Good morning, everybody. This is the Virginia Works webinar related to a funding opportunity for career and technical education centers. And I can advance the slide. There we go. On our agenda today, we're going to do some introductions pretty quickly, and then we'll talk about some guidance for the project relative to the elements in the project and funding associated with it, participation requirements, and of course, reimbursement process. And then for the presentation, we're going to get started. So let's do some introductions. My name is Tom Sheeran, Grants Administration Manager for Virginia Works. And we have a number of staff around the room. Constance?
Good morning, everyone. Constance Green, Director of WIOA Title I Programs with Virginia Works.
Good morning, everybody. Anna Hughes, Project Manager.
Good morning, Robert Henry, WIOA Youth State Coordinator.
Good morning, Sophia Johnston, Business Analyst.
Good morning, Gladys Nieves, Program Admin Coordinator. Thank you.
And do we have anybody else online?
Fred is there.
Some of the special projects at Virginia Works.
Good morning, I'm
Faith.
Faith Clayton, one of the regional managers with Registered Apprenticeship.
Diana.
Good morning, Diana Lyons. I am a regional manager with Registered Apprenticeship.
And Terry?
Harry Partain, WIOA Title I Administrative Specialist.
Dr. Rob is on.
Dr. Rob.
Good morning, Dr. Rob Walker, Director of Service Delivery.
And I think that wraps it up for staff. Who do we have in the audience?
We've got 22 people, so
Oh,
let's
22.
go ahead and proceed with the webinar.
Didn't know we had that many. Thank you all for joining. So as we get into this new funding opportunity, this is a unique one where we're trying to provide resources for CTE centers relative to apprenticeships in the program across the Commonwealth. As far as applicants are concerned, we need to have, as you fill out the application, we want to make sure that there's a detailed description of what kind of equipment or supplies you're going to be needed to make your center better able to provide services. Keep in mind that the maximum reimbursement award is $10,000, up to $10,000, I should say. And that as you look at, as you're filling out the application, if you would, please describe any gaps or opportunities for partnerships with employers you might have, particularly as it relates to youth apprenticeship programs. That'd be really important. Also, applicants must provide a confirmation that they've identified a minimum of 2 employers who are willing to become sponsors for either a youth registered apprenticeship or a registered apprenticeship. So that's an interesting linkage between between the application that you're going to be submitting and whether or not the award is made. That's an absolute requirement in order to get the CTE funding. You're going to have to be able to find these sponsors. And then of course, we also need a description on how the equipment will be used to support the center. And of course, this next slide just simply amplifies that, making sure you can demonstrate the value. And as you fill out the rest of the application, making sure that you've got a quality description of the program, the number of students that are going to be targeted, who's going to be benefiting, and so forth. And I'm going to turn this slide over to Faith and Diana to just talk a little bit about apprenticeships here in Virginia. Faith?
Good morning again. So for anybody that's not familiar with Registered Apprenticeship provides on-the-job training with a mentor, with the sponsor, the employer, and then they also get the related technical instruction, which would be through one of the CTE centers in this case. And then Youth Registered Apprenticeship, same thing, but they can start when they're 16, 17 years old. And that sponsor or employer need to have their job description or work process vetted by child labor law. But other than that, it follows the same way. So I don't know about any specific questions. I guess there'll be time for at the end about specific questions, but if there's something regarding, if you're not currently involved with Registered Apprenticeship or Youth Registered Apprenticeship and you have any specific questions that we don't cover today, I'm happy to connect with you at a later time to answer those.
Thank you. One key thing to remember on the slide there, relative to costs that are being incurred. Again, this is tied to the CTE group. The equipment costs must be incurred between the start of the period of performance, which is November 1 through December 31. And of course, we'll get to the reimbursement process in a few minutes. But please make sure that when it comes to the legitimacy of the cost and being reimbursed, they cannot be incurred prior to the beginning of the period of performance. And then as part of the WIELA Title I funding operation, which is undergirding the entire program, the CTE Center will have to supply a number of documents. There'll be a vendor agreement that it basically is a simplified type of a contract. There'll be an award acceptance letter. Again, this all takes place after the applications are submitted and reviewed by a review panel, and then decisions are made in terms of which awards will be made. So there'll be an employer sponsor agreement. An award acceptance letter will need to be signed. A W-9 will need to be signed. There'll be an authorized signatory form that's going to need to be signed. And then, of course, there have to be a FFATA form in order to get a unique entity identification number associated with any vendor that receives federal funding. The letter's sort of hard to see, but this is an example of an award acceptance letter. It's basically connects the partnership between the agency and the CTE Center. And again, it basically validates that there's a utilization of grant funding and an acknowledgement of the award and reporting requirements. That all this information at the bottom of the slide, that email address, grant applications, virginiaworks.gov. That's a key point of contact for this grant. This is an example of the W-9 form that will be sent out. And again, we need to have an authorized signatory to make sure that as the reimbursements are made, the individual that's authorizing and submitting the documentation is on record, is being authorized by the entity. Again, this is another document you'll be getting related to the FFATA form, which stands for Federal Funding Accountability and Transparency Act. Again, this form, once it's filled out, will enable you to make sure that you go to sam.gov and get a UEI. And then, of course, there's the actual request for reimbursement form. Looks like this. This is a sample. Gladys, you want to speak to this form for a minute?
So once you receive notification that you were awarded the grant, you'll get a couple forms like that Tom just mentioned, and then this request for reimbursement will also be given. With this request for reimbursement, you will fill out where the total expenses paid to date, it has formulas in there, and then you have up to $10,000 to be able to request reimbursement. You would need to provide supporting documentation, which would be the receipts and, maybe information on the equipment itself and how it's going to be utilized in your classes. And if you have any other questions, just let us know. But grant recipient, you would put your CTE center name, the grant type, grant number, that information would probably be pre-filled beforehand. The request number, so if you don't have up to 10,000 to request for reimbursement and you're bringing like supplies are also part of this, if you do your first request for $4,000, just make sure that your next request is request number 2 so that we have the paper trail going with it. Program year would be 2025. Month and year reported would be when the costs incurred. And the final report is when you reach your 10,000 or this was the last invoice you were going to be requesting reimbursement for. That's pretty much it.
Gladys, also they gotta make sure they put in their make payment too.
Yes, so the make
We
payment
have to have that.
It'll be in the form. There it is. It's the small 3 lines near the bottom. So we need to make sure we know who we're sending the check to. Thank you, Terry.
That pretty much wraps up this presentation. It's now time for questions. We'd like to hear from the audience.
This is Kenyatta Goshen from Norfolk Public Schools. How are you this morning?
Morning.
I wanted to ask, I just wanted to make sure I'm on the auxiliary screen, so it's a little small. Did you say the grant period is November 1st, 2025? Is that December 31st, 2025 or 26? Is this a short turnaround plan?
26. You have within a year.
Okay, the screen was a little small, so I know he didn't say 25, so it's 2026. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Waiting for the volume numbers.
I think
We have a hand raised from Lauren Siddell.
Yes, good morning. Lauren Siddell from Commonwealth Center for Advanced Manufacturing. We're a partner with Virginia Works for Youth Registered Apprenticeship. My question is, what is the source of the funding? I originally thought that it was state funding, but I'm seeing that it's WIOA. So is it federal funding that is providing?
Yes, it is. It's WIOA Title I funding associated with the governor's state set-aside budget.
Okay, thank you very much.
Yeah, that's why there's a lot of additional paperwork, reporting requirements.
Got it. I appreciate that. Thank you.
I see
I'm
no
sorry, I have one other question. I have one other question I forgot to ask. Is there
Sure.
is there match funding required?
No, sir.
Okay.
Thank you. Other questions? Perhaps that's an indicator that our presentation was clearly understood.
Thank you all so much.
There's a person.
There's
Go
another
ahead,
person.
we're sorry.
Can you hear
Go
me?
ahead.
Yes.
Barely.
My name's Debbie, I'm from MTC. And my question was, I noticed that you are looking for 4 to 5 apprentices, but can we do it over 2 employers or does it have to be just 1 employer?
Can you repeat the question just one more time? Sorry. We're trying to see if we can raise the volume here. Hold on. Maybe this will work. Try one more time.
And it could be me. I'm Debbie from MTC, and I noticed that you said that you wanted 4 to 5 apprentices. Can it be over 2 different employers or is it just one employer?
I think it's within, what does
believe it's
our
2.
request for application, it's
Yeah.
within 2, right?
Yes, within 2.
The
Yes.
2
So you
have
employers,
2,
you have a
and
total of
then
5
total 5.
apprentices.
Yes, correct.
Yes.
Does it have to be in the same field? Like, could I do electricity and HVAC?
Depending on the proposal, yeah.
Yeah, that would be acceptable for sure.
Okay.
Just
Thank
make
you.
sure that the details are in the proposal when you submit the application in.
Okay. Thank you.
I would also mention that even though we're having this initial webinar, between now and the submission of your application, if you've got specific questions or you just would like further clarity, please submit your questions to the email address that was listed, which is grantapplications@virginiaworks.gov.
We will be posting the questions that are submitted and the responses to them on the website as well, so that everyone has equal access to the questions that were asked and the responses.
So I just mentioned that this is not the one and only time you can ask questions. Please feel free to submit as many as you'd like to that email address. And we'll get back, and we're monitoring that on a daily basis, and we'll get responses back to you very quickly.
Any other questions? All right, well, hearing none, we will stand by on the line for just a minute longer, but thank you all so much for your participation in today's webinar, and we look forward to receiving your applications. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Stop recording.